Yo, yo, it's Alex here. Just chilling, just hanging around, just milling about, loitering down an alleyway as you do, literally, just milling about, and if there are rude words behind me, forgive me. I try to keep this channel and these filmlets clean. Today we're going to be talking about questions we can ask ourselves to give us a lift, to make us feel better, to make us feel unstoppable. Can we get to that stage? Is that realistic? Is that a pipe dream? Now, obviously, the answers we give to the questions we ask ourselves are going to give us possibly a moment of fleeting inspiration, a moment of fleeting insight and confidence. It's not necessarily going to hold with us forever, but there is value in the questions we ask ourselves and the ability to turn our attention away from always berating ourselves and thinking about things that make us feel worse and giving ourselves a bit of a lift. There is a lot of value in making use of questions and being your own coach. If you're lucky enough to have a coach, obviously that's going to be a great thing, especially when they ask you deep, probing questions that make you aware of things you might have missed, that can put you in a better frame, that can put you in a more positive frame. But let's use this opportunity here to gather some ideas on things we could ask ourselves in a fleeting moment. Perhaps you're not feeling up to it, you're not feeling motivated. Perhaps you're just loitering around random alleyways in Eastern Europe like I do. And you might need a little kick, a little push that gets you kind of into the next phase of the day with a bit more excitement, a bit more clarity, and a bit more sense of freedom, a sense of control, a sense of joy. All right, so 6 questions. Feel free to pick any of these at random or go through them with me. Get yourself a pen and paper out. You know how much of a fan I am of pads of paper and pens, but it could also be something you just absorb and ask yourself. But I would encourage you to write the answers down. There's something to the process of physically writing down your answers and seeing the spectrum of ideas that you put down in one place rather than losing them and replacing them in your mind. But you can also absorb and speak through them and speak them out loud, I think is a good idea as well. You want to get these ideas absorbed because what we're doing is we're channeling our thoughts towards a specific place. We're channeling our thoughts through asking these questions to solutions and ideas and specific thoughts and concepts that make us feel better, that make us see the light and make us feel a bit better about ourselves. So let's get into it, shall we, without this chatting about it. The first one is one that you've probably heard a lot, but we often laugh at it and we sometimes skip over it and we sometimes forget it, which is to ask yourself, what can I now be grateful for? What can I be grateful for today? What do I have that I can be grateful for? Get your list together and become aware of those things. It's not just some cute little thing that only the do-gooders of the world do and the cutesy types do, the do-gooders, the goody two-shoes. Asking yourself the question, what can I be grateful for? What could I be grateful for? Anything and everything that is worthy of gratefulness, of acknowledging, being happy about, is going to put your mind in a world that is going to fill you with good feelings and good vibes. And what's harmful about good vibes, especially when you're feeling bored and fed up? You want to get yourself into a place of joy again, and a very quick way to do that is to ask yourself what you can be grateful for right now. So write yourself that list or just think through it. Allow yourself to just stop ruminating on all that tough stuff. Stop ruminating, stop worrying, and just focus on what you can be happy about right now. And then you'll find there are many things. And being grateful is not for the other guy, it's for you. What can you be grateful for today? Next question. What are some of the biggest wins, successes, and achievements of your life? You've lived a while. You might have, through your ego and through your self-denial, have not allowed yourself to acknowledge your achievements, but when you really think about it, when you really put your mind to it, you'll probably find a lot of things to be proud of, a lot of things to be happy about that you've achieved, or that you have brought into your life, or that you have changed in other people's lives. What have you done to be proud of? Of course, this is a subjective idea, but you want to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You want to give yourself a lot here. You want to really dig out those achievements, no matter how small. Focus on the big ones first, then start bringing in some of the other ones. What other things have you done that you can be proud of, that you've achieved? Experiences that you've had that are worthy of thinking about and including in your memory and making you feel better than 5 minutes ago. What are some wins, successes, and achievements that you can be proud of? Next question is, what is it that you like or love about yourself? Oh, we're getting into interesting ground here. Is that even possible? Can we love ourselves? Are there things that we could love about ourselves that we can acknowledge right here, right now, me and you? Write those things down and don't feel silly about doing it. Remember that the point of this exercise is to make you feel more motivated and feel unstoppable and feel better about yourself. And what is wrong with that? You might as well take every little advantage as you can to keep going, to keep the momentum up. So what are those things that you could love about yourself? Okay, if that's too much, if that's too strong a word, like or praise about yourself. What could you... Gosh, this graffiti is pretty minging, isn't it? Sorry about this, guys. What are some things that you could really like about yourself? Give yourself a break and find some things that you can be happy about, that you own, about you. Again, we might be overlapping into achievements and stuff like that and gratitude, but what about yourself do you like? What are your little talents? What are some things you've done for other people that you can be proud of? Next question. Give me a second, I need to remember here. Next question to lift us up, to make us feel unstoppable is, what are some examples of times you have faced your fear and you've done the thing, even though you felt scared? Being followed here in the back alleys of Tbilisi. What are some examples of times you've been scared, but you've still taken the challenge? You've still done something courageous, no matter how good the outcome was, no matter how successful you were. There's a lot to be proud of when you have, in those moments where you've done things that you have been scared to do, but you've done them and you've survived anyway. You've survived those courageous moments. What are some examples of them? What are some things you've turned up for that you didn't really want to go to, that you just did it anyway, and you felt fearful, you felt worried, but you still did it? Make yourself a little list of those things that those courageous moments of your life that you can be proud of, that can spur on perhaps future courageous acts. And sometimes we forget that we have been warriors at certain points in our lives and we haven't given ourselves acknowledgement for that. And actually there's a lot of therapy and a lot of good to come out of giving yourself a break here and there occasionally, and giving yourself an opportunity to praise yourself and to allow yourself to commend yourself and to say, well done, mate, and not to always do it at other people and not always to be focused on others, and actually give yourself a moment where you can give yourself a bit of appreciation. None of us do that enough, including myself. What can you be appreciative of yourself, and what moments in your past where you were courageous could you acknowledge now? So write those things down. Another powerful question. Next question is, what are some negative beliefs you have that hold you back? This is going to be down to you. I can't claim to know what those answers are. Gosh, we really stumbled into an interesting cavernous network of graffiti-laden alleyways. What are some negative beliefs you have that might be stopping you back? Like, for example, I'm not an interesting person. I'm boring. I'm not courageous. I'm stupid. I'm not intelligent. I'm not funny. I suck at art. I'm crap at graffiti. I am very bad at communicating. I'm not good at making videos. Blah, blah, blah. All these things that and often these are patterns that occur in your mind and they might be repeated a lot. What are some negative beliefs you have about yourself? Identify one or two of them. Identify one or two of the big ones, the ones that keep recurring, okay? Write that down. Write that negative belief down. it could be some thought that is sabotaging you in ways you never really considered, and this is a very powerful process, so get ready. What is a negative belief that stops you? And you'll be able to figure those things out because they are in your mind 24/7. Okay, get those big ones, the ones that rattle around your skull more than others. Okay, write them down, 1, 2, 3 different negative beliefs perhaps, and now think of some examples of the opposite of that negative belief being true. So if you had the negative belief of, I'm not a good communicator, think of 3 examples of your past, of your life, where that can be proven wrong. Maybe you had an experience where you did communicate something well to someone face to face, or you did communicate something well through a video, or through a public speaking performance, or through a school debate, or some experience involving communication with someone. Maybe you had a chat with your mum and it went very well and she understood you clearly. What are some examples of that negative belief being proven wrong, or the opposite of that negative belief? So take your negative beliefs, turn them around. So if you've got a negative belief that says, I am a boring person, what's the opposite of that negative belief? I'm an interesting person. And then you want to find some examples that support that opposite belief. Does that make sense? So find some examples in your life. If your negative belief was I'm boring, find some examples of you being interesting in your life. And the more evidence you can pile that goes against the negative belief, the more of that negative belief is going to be distrusted by you. The less of that lie is going to take a hold on you, and the more happy and free you're going to feel. There's a lot of power in proving your negative beliefs wrong. And you will find that the more evidence you can find to support the opposite of that belief, the more of that, the less of that belief will have a hold on you, and the more free you will feel, psychologically free. And it's an extremely liberating experience. And you might find that all kinds of new feelings and emotions will arise in you. You might find yourself chuckling lightly to yourself. You might find just a sense of real lightness coming into your life again. So that's a powerful one. Have I done 6 yet? I might have only done the 5 questions that you can ask yourself. Let me see if I can think of the last one. I think that's it for today. If I've missed a question, feel free to make fun of me in the comments. I keep forgetting to look in the camera. And hopefully this was useful, guys. And would love to hear some questions or some ideas or feedback or considerations I can bring into other videos, and maybe you've got some questions about the above questions, or maybe you just want to write down your results below. Would love to hear from you. Do like this video if you liked it, do subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.